Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Goku Youth. We're going to be taking a look at the Dragon Ball stage of the Supreme Magnificent Battle versus the Super Gathering of Warriors, or the Gathering of Super Warriors. There's a lot of words in these event titles. So the reason I said Goku Youth is because we're looking at Goku Youth, the first phase. But we are completing the mission for Dragon Ball Seekers. Now there's a mission to complete using 6 Dragon Ball Seekers units. Dragon Ball Seekers as a team or a category is pretty interesting, and we'll talk about that, but let's first just talk about this team and obviously the event. So the event comprises of 7 phases. They are pretty simple ones. Goku Youth, Bulma Youth and Oolong are the second phase, Yamcha and Puar is the third phase, and these first 3 phases are pretty simple. Super attacks range from 500 to 600k. Oolong and Bulma Youth are a joint phase, so there's 2 units. Then Yamcha and Puar, pretty straightforward. It gets more interesting around the Ox King Chi-Chi Youth section. Chi-Chi can fire 2 supers in 1 turn. She hits at about 725. Ox King can hit around 800,000 in terms of his super attacks. They are both immune to sealing, which is pretty important. Then we move on to Master Roshi, Krillin Youth and Launch. This is a 3 unit phase. Both, or all 3 I should say, are all immune to sealing. The super attacks here range from 500 to 750k. Launch is the weakest, so target her first, Krillin, then Master Roshi. Finally, after that, you take on Tien and Chaozu. They hit for about 900,000 or 868. However, they lock character switching. So what's very important to take note of, they lock character switching. So basically they have a 40% chance to incur locking your character in position. And this obviously is a huge pain due to the fact that it's going to prevent you from rotating your characters, which always isn't the best. It makes players feel quite helpless. So yeah, obviously that's not great. Then we have the final phase against Goku. This Goku is pretty interesting. He has an evasion chance, but how he works is he does 1,000,000 in terms of his super, but he's guaranteed to stun you. Like, he heavily favors the first lot. With his super attacks, he's guaranteed to stun you, and so he will cause you some issues. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we are building a Dragon Ball Seekers team. The event itself is not the hardest Supreme Magnificent Battle, but it is obviously one that has its own unique challenges. Most of the times, the bosses are very straightforward. Stunning is an effective tool to utilize pretty much all the way up to Tien and Chaozu, when at that point, Tien, Chaozu, Goku become like your traditional hard content bosses. They nullify sealing, they nullify stunning, attack lowering, defense lowering, etc. So let's talk about Dragon Ball Seekers. Dragon Ball Seekers as a category has quite a few leads. You have Pan, the GT Tech Pan. You have the Int Daima Goku, who just released. You have the Int Goku GT, Pan GT, and Trunks GT. And you have the Strength Bulma Youth. Obviously, if you're looking for leads, these 4, either of them is going to be fine. If you are building a Dragon Ball Seekers team based on DB Saga units, looking at like Bulma Youth, looking at like the Pilaf, Shu and Mai, looking at units like the physical Goku, so the physical Youth / DB Saga lead Goku, there's a pretty decent DB Sagas team here. I will say I tried the DB Sagas team, and it was going pretty fine up to the last phase, and I didn't use an item when I probably should have. I was trying to no item it, and they probably would have won. So you do have a pretty good DB Sagas team. I will say I like the Ginyu Force variant. We'll talk about it just now, but you can very easily build a better DB Seekers team. With Daima Goku probably being the friend lead you should take. And if you have your own Goku Pan and Trunks GT as your own lead, you're pretty much in a good position. Them or Pan, Daima Goku, you got all the keys to having a very high powered team. And you'll be more than fine. Like, you won't struggle, you'll be okay. What's interesting is DB Seekers, or Dragon Ball Seekers, shows a lot of prominence in two different sagas. You have obviously Dragon Ball, heavily filled with DB Seekers units. Then you have GT, that whole searching for the Black Star Dragon Ball section with a lot of pans and everything. But your main other competitor is actually Planet Namek. Planet Namek in the back end of the Saiyan saga has a ton of Dragon Ball Seekers, because that was the main focus of the show at that point. Obviously in the Majin Buu saga and the Cell saga, the Dragon Balls kind of became a secondary plot, contrivance, device, etc. So what happens is in Planet Namek saga is you get a lot of DB Seekers. So I want to run Ginyu Force. I think Ginyu Force is just a fun team to run. Obviously it gives me an excuse to use the Int LR Captain Ginyu, who I think is really awesome. The AGL Captain Ginyu, who I have a lot of fun with, and some of the really cool summonable units like the Int Jason Berta, the Strength Raccoon and Gildo, and the cool 2 free-to-play units, the Physical LR Captain Ginyu, and of course the Tech LR Ginyu Goku Force, or Ginyu Goku Ginyu Force. Thank you. So the Ginyu Force is just a really cool sub collection of the units. It's an incredibly niche, very small one, because I think you need the Strength Raccoon Gildo, you need the AGL Captain Ginyu, you need the Int Jason Berta, and you probably need the Int LR Captain Ginyu. But it is a really fun little subsect of the team is to run. I just think they have such cool synergy, they all share such great links, they all support each other so wonderfully, and their team has such interesting utility and support options that it's a lot of fun for me. At least overall I find it to be a very enjoyable, functional team that's a lot of fun to run together. I think where things become more interesting is obviously if you don't have those units, then the Ginyu Force team is pretty incompatible. I wouldn't run a Planet Namek saga variant of this team. It's a bit too all over the place. Vegeta, Frieza, it's not got a lot of synergy. Of course, you can also run things like Lord Slug, maybe a Demonic Power team. I still think Dragon Ball is probably your best. You have units like Glorio, who's really good. Goku Daima, either of those are going to be absolutely amazing, so you can run them. The one thing that's a bit of a shame is we don't have obviously because he wasn't searching for the Dragon Balls, I guess, technically, but we don't have the Strength Master Roshi. That would have been a really fun team. You could have run Turtle School and obviously, Pepe Gals and things like that, and I think that could have been a lot of fun. But yeah, overall, I'd say DB Seekers is probably one of those categories where there's 3 main archetypes in terms of teams to build, and I think because of that, it gives you enough options to run this event. If you're looking to really crush this event, just build whatever team allows you to incorporate Daima Goku, and you'll be more than fine. Between Daima Goku and Gloria, you're pretty much good to go, because both of them, either of them as your friend lead, will just absolutely destroy pretty much anything. And if you can't fit Gloria on your team, then just bringing Daima Goku is pretty simple. He's really good, and he's super duper solid, so I really like him a lot, and I think he's probably the best lead. In terms of yourself, if you don't have him, if you got the Int GT trio, or even if you just got the Tech Pan, Tech Pan will be fine here. She'll do her own thing, she'll be more than happy to kind of perform here. Other than that, there's some interesting offshoot LRs, like the Tech Giant Ape Vegeta. Wouldn't really incorporate him. You have the Physical Yamcha and Puar, who are a Great World Tournament unit, but I didn't want to incorporate them into a team because there's multiple phases with Pepe Gals, and that kind of hinders them useless. You have the Tech free-to-play LR Goku Krillin Bulma Youth, which I think is a lot of fun. You have the Tech Gohan Kid Piccolo, which I think is a lot of fun. And just in general, there's a lot of different lineups that you can run. So I think overall, it's a very interesting mission. I don't think it's the hardest. I think it's probably one of the more fun ones I've done. So yeah, overall for me, a fun, albeit straightforward stage. So yeah, that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, and yeah, bye.